Alright, so hey guys, it's Cat and Toad here, and today I will discuss the game Kitten Cat Simulator. So this childhood cat simulator game is just very weird. There's a free mode where you can just destroy stuff and do whatever the heck you want. And there's also a time mode where you can see how fast you can destroy the house under a set time. And the survival mode, however, it basically turns the game into a horror game. You have to run and hide from the humans, that look very much like they're from Minecraft. So what I've noticed about the very early versions of the game, like the earliest, they actually used just an actual model of Minecraft Steve. However, it was later on replaced with the guy who had a shirt that said I love creator, and then that was replaced with some off-brand Herobrine with a blurry texture instead of pixelated one. Now I will do some gameplays of these versions and show you what these were like. So here we have the first version of Kitten Cat Simulator. You can see the cat model right there. The Minecraft Steve right there. And the modes of the game right there. Now I will go to free mode to show you around the map. So here you can see that the map is actually very different from the current versions. Like, you can't go outside, all the doors are closed, and we have white walls instead. You can also see that the cat model in this version is very tiny. In this version, it is a little bit disappointing that you can't go outside or anything, or even change the color of your cat here. So the two main flaws of the first version of this game is that there is only one cat to choose from and you can't go outside. However, one cool feature of this version of the game is that you can actually go underneath this coffee table and use it as a hiding spot from the human. You can also see that with these tables, there is nothing on them. And as for the ceiling lamp above that dining table, instead of knocking it over, you no-clip right through it, like that. So yeah, this is a very, let's say, mysterious version of the game. Also, you can also see that the glitch where you can get in the corner of something and jump high enough to get on top of it is still there, because this game still has the same physics as the newer versions. Except for the 2.0 versions, of course, just because that's where they changed the game significantly. Okay, now I'm going to play in the survival mode. Now, as you can see, in this version of the game, the survival mode is a lot harder, because we can't go outside or anything. And you can also see that this is one of the earlier versions where they use the actual Minecraft Steve model. Now here you can see that the amount of things you can do in the early version of the game is noticeably limited, but it's still pretty interesting to see the first version of the game. I like how when I look outside of a window, it's like this house is in the middle of a void. And not to mention that when you get caught by the human, and instead of game over, it says you lost. And the earlier versions of this game, all of them actually, before the 1.5 and 1.6 so on, they don't show a picture of a cat in a bath. They just show you lost or game over, along with how many points you scored during the run. And for the time mode in this version, there isn't as much you can do with certain points and sphere destructions in this version, because how those tables, with the dining table and the coffee table, don't have anything on them in this version. So getting a higher score, or for the time mode, but in this version of the game, is relatively harder as there's nothing on these tables. So now we have the second version of the game, where now you can choose what cat you will play as, and not just have to stick to one cat to play as, which is very cool. Now here in this second version of the game, they've actually made some improvements here. Or like, now we have more cats to choose from, despite the cats still being very small. And these tables have stuff on them now. Still can't go outside though. So yeah, not much changed here, except if we get to have more than one cat to choose from. And those tables have more stuff on them now at least. Now you can also see that instead of no clipping through this ceiling lamp, you can knock it down now. So even though you can't really go outside or anything yet, that they still added some pretty cool improvements here. Okay, so now we have another version of Kitten Cat Simulator 1.2.5, where it's now very different. We can see that the background here, or for the start here, is different. However, we still have that Minecraft Steve model. Okay, so they made a lot of improvements here, like knocking all that stuff down feels less buggy. We can still see through walls and stuff. And the cat model is now slightly bigger. And the wallpaper is now very different. And we can do stuff like go outside now and stuff, because those doors are no longer closed. However, that door to the back patio, or behind the living room, is still closed, as then we cannot go to the back patio that way yet. However, it's still pretty cool that we can go outside now. But there just isn't much you can do outside in this version, like, there's no ramp to go up top of the roof. The wall is closer to the house, so there aren't any buildings to see, and no road yet. And there are no little trampolines with the gear icon, unlike in the more current versions. You can also see that you can't go underneath that coffee table in the living room anymore in this version, which is actually a little bit sad, because that was actually a pretty cool little hiding spot. You can also see that when you get caught by the human, it still says you lost instead of game over. Okay, so now we have Kitten Cat Simulator, or 1.4.1 here, or where they did make some changes around here. Now, instead of Minecraft Steve, we have the human that has a shirt that says I love creator. Now, even though it was sad to see Minecraft Steve go, this is where the game actually started to get some improvements. Like, now there's more to do outside, and like, you have a car to drive now. And now there's that little ramp that takes you up to the roof that you can even drive up using the car. And now the game feels more open world, well, because there's little buildings around now, and you have a little car to drive to explore the map a little more. And now you can see that there's these little spheres, as you know, the ones next to the plants in front of the house now, as a decoration. Now, despite the map's creepy and desolate nature, the changes made to the game are still very interesting. And now we have the little trampolines with the gear icon on them. Now, the creepy and desolate nature of the map, and the horrifying feeling of being chased down by the human, it makes the game feel like a horror game, but it is a very good game overall. Now, one cool update they made here is now there is a ramp that lets you go on top of the roof, like I mentioned before. And not to mention, the roof is very colorful. I used to keep talking about how this roof looks like a dance floor when I was a kid. Okay, so here we have the car feature. I don't know why we drive in the trunk and not at the front seat. So for this gray house right here next to the main house, this house right here does not yet have the ramp that lets you go on top of the roof of this house. So there's a glitch where if you get in this corner, or if you can get the angle right, it will let you jump high enough to get on top of the roof. Like that. Now you can see that in this version you can get in and outside of the house through the back patio, because this door is open now, which is actually really cool. So even though it was a little bit sad to see the Minecraft Steve go, the improvements they made in this version are actually really cool. Also, that's what the human looks like. And now in this version, instead of "you lost," it says it's game over. So now here we have Kitten Cat Simulator version 1.4.3. And where now, instead of "I love creator," or we have the off-brand Herobrine right there. And for the survival mode, now we get to choose how many humans we want. Later on it changes to 6. But right here it starts at up to 4. But I'm just gonna go with 1 human for now because I need to focus on the video. So in this version, not much has changed other than a human model, and how many ramps there are, or plus the new spawn points for the humans. They can spawn behind these walls now. Now what's cool about this update here is that now there is a ramp onto the roof of that gray house. That lets you go on top of the gray house right there, which is really cool. And what's cool about these ramps is that you can drive the car up them to use them to get on top of the houses and stuff. Or just use that ramp over there behind the gray house. That's to do a cool little trick. However, getting on top of the houses via the ramps and send the car can be quite challenging. What I really like to do with these ramps a lot is I like to get in the car, and then I go on this big ramp here, and then I drive up it, and then I like to watch the car go flying. Well, this time I messed it up pretty bad, but it's fun. Now here is this really interesting, I don't know what, that Kitten Cat Simulator version, and that I almost forgot to mention here. Now what's fun about this version is we still get to have Minecraft Steve, but we also get the cool interesting features like the rainbow roof, the ramp that lets us go on top of the roof, and the car. I actually didn't know this version existed, and this is actually really cool, while having all the other features, while also still getting to have Minecraft Steve. However, one thing they changed with getting caught by the human here is that when you get caught by Steve, it says game over, not you lost. And now here we have version 1.5.8 where the game changes a lot. Now you have options like the multiplayer, which I will not feature in this video due to the servers. Now you can also turn the music off and on, and then when you hit the swap owner button, and it changes the eye color of the human down there. And now you can choose up to 6 humans, but I'm still going to go with 1 to focus on the video. Now we can see that there is a meow button, and the camera angle changed a lot, so did the walking animation of the model. Now again, and this update is where the game changes a lot. Like, now there's another way to get on the roof, now they have those little cubes right there, or for an easier and faster way to get on the roof. Now as you can see, the roof looks very different on this version of the game, and which I'm honestly pretty sad about because I love the disco roof. Now what's fun about this version of the game is you can go between these 2 cubes right here and kind of squeeze in like this, and then you can glitch inside of the wall. I learned how to do this glitch when I was a kid, and then it's actually really fun. It's a good hiding spot from the humans in survival mode too. There are also these glitches, is where you can get in the corner of a door, or like this one here, and then if you're in the right angle, you can jump so high that you get on top of that door. It takes trial and error. Also, this glitch works with pretty much any door or dresser or whatever, or that's by a corner. Now here you can also see that when you get caught by the human, it doesn't just say game over, it also shows a picture of a cat in a bath. So here is the latest version of Kitten Cat Simulator, which looks way different than the other versions. Now, even though I personally don't really like this version as much as I like the older versions, I think it's still pretty alright. It has good graphics. Also, I'm playing in free mode this time, so I can demonstrate what the map looks like now here. By the way, Kitten Cat Simulator is actually a really good game, and I love playing it growing up. Even now that I'm a teenager, I still play it. One thing I don't really like about this new version is that you can't really go to the corner of a dresser and jump so high that you get on top of it anymore. Another thing I don't really like about the survival mode, which is now called escape mode, it is the humans don't stay in the house anymore. And they just run straight out the gate if the walls around the house, and then it takes all the fun out of the game, if you know what I mean. However, this update is actually pretty cool and still has good graphics. I just don't really like it as much as I like the old versions. Anyway guys, that's it for today's video. Please be sure to like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell to never miss a video. Peace out. Bye bye. 燃やせ命の炎